Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is so nice to see your faces. For anybody who hasn't done it yet, pop your view into gallery and scroll a little bit and see faces of 118 of our colleagues that we haven't seen for a while. You all look gorgeous, and it is just so darn nice to see your faces again. Welcome. I'm Diane Harrison O'Galley. It is so nice to welcome you to our CNM's Values Champion. I want to begin with gratitude, and that is to Aline Gonzalez and Felicia Cortez, who are the backbone for today's show, and so many other great things that happen at CNM. Thank you to both of them. We encourage you to use the chat while we go through this celebration and shout out and share your joy for your colleagues. We know there's a ton of things you could decide to do today, but you chose to show up to celebrate your colleagues. And I really am so happy that you did that. For those of you joining us for the first time for a Values Champion celebration, welcome. Prepare to have your heart grow just a little and your spirits lifted as you hear these stories of what our colleagues have done. Our values, you all know them: caring, connected, courageous, ethical, exceptional, inspiring. We each get to see those values in action every single day. And I don't think there's ever been a time that's been more true than during this past year, marked by really extraordinary efforts to respond to our students, to our colleagues, to our community during the pandemic. So I think the very best way for us to kick off any kind of celebration is with a few words from our president. So Tracy, it's all over to you.
Great. Well, thank you all for being here. Thanks to Diane and Aline and team for organizing today and all of our other events, and for all of the kind notes and stickers and magnets that are distributed throughout the year by this team, but also by our CNM Cares team and so many others who are just taking that extra step to make sure that we're connected and that all of us are being recognized in different ways. So thank you, everybody, for making that happen. So again, it's great to see these gallery. I mean, pages of views and so many people participating. So I mean, I can't wait till we're all in one room to be able to do this, but it's just great to see so many people participating. So thank you to all the values champions. You know, I just want to thank each of you for the work that you do, and that you're inspiring others. It's impressive that others have taken notice of some incredible work you've done, and even the smallest kindnesses that you've shown our students and your colleagues. So thank you for your efforts, and I so appreciate that it's being recognized by our nominators. So thank you to all the nominators who are able to take a moment out of your day, and I'm sure you're all so busy. So being able to take that moment to recognize and to write up our values champions. I know that it's such a great experience to be able to jot down those 5 or 6 lines and just be able to describe and be able to be so proud of your colleagues who go the extra step to really help others. So thank you for doing that as well. And certainly thank you to many teams. I can see many of you representing different teams today. And I'm so glad we're able to recognize the work of so many individuals who work together, even in these really what has become normal for how we work, but being able to work even virtually as a group to be able to pull off incredible events, whether it's hosting our scholarship and pulling together our scholarship programs, or it's running graduation in our drive-through events. So there's just a range of teams. And so I appreciate that all of you are recognized as well. And so just, again, I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate how all of you are living our values, that you're able to not only exercise those, but to recognize it in others, and that you're just such an inspiration to me and so many of us. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to celebrating many of you today.
Thanks so much, Tracy. And you know, one of the things Tracy just hit on, kindness, one of our 3 service excellence standards: kindness, ease, and responsiveness. And you'll hear that language, kindness, ease, and responsiveness, throughout so many of these ways that we celebrate our values. So in a year when so many things have changed, I'm really grateful that one of the things that hasn't changed is the willingness of our employees to take time out to celebrate and to recognize their peers. Today, we are celebrating 51 nominators That means 51 of our colleagues who took the time to do what Tracy said, write a few sentences and submit the nomination to be able to let us know the stories of these folks. So this is that list of those folks, and I really appreciate every single one of you. Those 51 nominators resulted in 46 nominations of individuals. And this is something that we've done year after year. But what's so unique and special about today, for our team at least, is that we expanded this to teams for every single value category. So we had 32 team and group nominations. These folks are from every part of the college. And it's really cool to me to see just the work that they're doing, as well as the ways that we can think about celebrating how they show up for our college. And finally, I want to thank another group, which is the folks, the 8 individuals who agreed to be our employee judges. As you're about to hear, and as you already know, our employees are fantastic. And it's not an easy job to read through these nominations and select one recipient for each category. The number of times people said, can't we just give a few, is large. Hey, and if you ever want to serve as a judge, it's about a 2-hour commitment. We would love to have you participate in that work. So let's turn it over to our very first value and get things started. You know, I think that the value of Be Caring has been probably the easiest to see during this pandemic, and I think we've all seen it every single day. To introduce the recipient of the individual C&M Values Champion Award for Caring, please welcome Erica Barrero.
Hello. Included in the way we define our Be Caring value is, quote, creating a nurturing, respectful, and trusting environment of growth and development, end quote. As I reflect on this leadership work of this nominee, I can't think of a more apt description for what this individual works to achieve for faculty at C&M. She has built strong teams of faculty volunteers to serve as a respected and trusted network of support for developing and growing professional knowledge and skills of their colleague, by faculty, for faculty. She has led this work at C&M for several years, but at no point has it been more critical than during the last year, the most disruptive year in our history of teaching and learning environments. Launching into action in April 2020 with a resource for faculty on trauma-informed teaching, she created and coordinated weekly emails to faculty designed to provide relevant bite-sized tips and resources that faculty could quickly implement into their work to support students during this disruption. She also led the CTL team in the organization and virtual design and delivery of faculty-focused days and the Cooperative Teaching and Learning Conference, which served to provide almost 1,000 faculty and staff with relevant and timely learning. And throughout all of her work, she has consistently demonstrated a commitment to equity, to student success, and to teaching and learning. Our C&M Values Champion Award for Caring goes to Erica Reed.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Erica. So exciting and wonderful. There we go. We've got a little sound effects we're trying to put in there. Fantastic. To introduce the recipient of the C&M Values Champion Team Award for Caring, please welcome Marvin Martinez. Marvin?
Wow, what a reception. The Team Caring Award, this team has continued to work on site since the pandemic started over 14 months ago, and was actually able to guide capital construction projects faster through the process because there were fewer students, faculty, and staff on site. This team also worked over the winter break to manage ongoing construction projects, including the demolition of the N building, They went above and beyond by hosting meetings and guiding architects, engineers, consultants, contractors, and subcontractors to ensure that these projects stayed on track. Our CNM Values Champion Team Award for caring goes to PPD Facilities Team.
Thanks so much, Marvin. That's fantastic. And thank you so much to Felicia behind the scenes navigating all of the different pieces today for us. Our next value is Be Connected. To introduce the recipient of the CNM Values Champion Award for Be Connected, let's welcome back Marvin.
While we were all focused on safety these past 14 months, this employee took that commitment to a whole new level. He has been one of the selected number of employees who have been at CNM throughout the COVID-19 outbreak to ensure essential services remained available and the campus was maintained. During the outbreak, he and his team have helped with a number of ongoing projects, including the Ken Chappie Hall renovation and the new marketplace at CNM. He has worked tirelessly and coordinated with teams across the campus to make sure CNM is COVID-19 compliant. Our CNM Values Champion Award for caring goes to Bill Collier.
Congratulations, Bill. And what you're seeing before, while Marvin is reading, is the list of all the folks that were nominated. And we just want to make sure that we acknowledge everybody who was nominated and all of those folks. So thank you so much, Marvin, for both taking the time to notice as well as actually submitting those nominations. So to introduce the CNM Values Champion Team Award for Be Connected, please welcome Brian Saylor. Brian?
Good afternoon. Chemistry is traditionally a topic taught best in person, combining hands-on laboratory work with lecture and problem-solving sessions. When CNM transitioned to all online learning during the spring 2020 term, the chemistry instructors had to react and adapt quickly to move into this new environment. The chemistry laboratory and lecture coordinators quickly embraced this challenge and sought to create innovative online experiences for the chemistry students. They worked together in a unique way, pairing seasoned DL instructors with non-DL trained face-to-face coordinators. This not only led to rapid development of the classes for online delivery, it helped to train the less experienced instructors for the challenging months ahead in 2020. The result was the deployment of the majority of CNM's chemistry courses in an online format for the summer 2020 term. These coordination groups went further, though, refining their courses and developing 8, 12, and 15-week versions of the courses for the fall 2020 term to satisfy all of our scheduling demands. During the fall, the transition to Brightspace was embraced by the coordination teams, further leading to all the chemistry courses except for 2 being offered in Brightspace for the spring 2021 term. Creating and inviting an interactive laboratory experience was the biggest challenge the coordinators faced. Through a combination of software, video demonstrations, and at-home experiments, the course coordinators took the initiative and developed a robust environment for student learning and support. By the start of the spring 2021 term, the coordinators were responsible for developing 8 new template-level online course shells and 14 template shells in total that have supported both student online success and the teaching efforts of their colleagues. Throughout this process, that connected grouping of the faculty together has led to better cooperation and communication among the faculty and created a rigorous, student-focused learning environment. These outcomes demonstrate how the chemistry coordinators embody the core value of Be Connected.
Thank you so much, Brian. Fantastic to read and to hear about what they're doing. Our next award is Be Courageous. To introduce the recipient of the C&M Values Champion Award for Be Courageous, please welcome Todd Johnson.
This colleague is the prime example of courageous. Throughout this COVID period, she has been open to every idea that would help our students stay connected to C&M. Understood that changes needed to be made and worked with our team to make sure they were done with ease, kindness, and responsiveness as their base. She has made it easy for our team to adapt to the changing landscape and be available to students at a 100% capacity. Always thinking ahead, innovative with our ideas, and standing behind ours. COVID has been very difficult for everyone. Working from home for some has been hard. She has used her fearless leadership, ideas, and willingness to adapt to make the situation as close to normal for her employees. The very definition of courageous. Congratulations to the C&M's Value Champion for Be Courageous, Miranda Evgen Sanchez.
Congratulations, Miranda. Fantastic to hear these readings of these nominations. For our team award for Be Courageous, please welcome Brian Saylor. Brian?
I'm here. This is teaching me not to write so much next year. At the time C&M transitioned to all online instruction in March 2020, biology seemed to be well situated due to their embrace of online instruction over the past 10 plus years. It quickly became evident, though, that a need existed to support and provide materials for a multitude of full and part-time instructors who had never taught in an online environment. To this extent, the lecture and laboratory coordinators in biology displayed the core value of Be Courageous as they sought to face and address these challenges. The coordinators immediately began creating template shells which could be quickly deployed to all faculty teaching a particular course. The goal of the templates was to maintain rigor and minimize student and faculty frustration upon moving to online instruction. The coordinators then served as teaching assistants in all sections of the class they coordinated to quickly fix issues that arose and provide technical and academic support to their colleagues. Part of this effort was the creation of several brand new online template course shells for courses which had only been taught in person. This effort resulted in a full suite of biology courses, lectures, and labs being offered during the fall 2020 term. The efforts of this courageous team of coordinators did not stop in fall term as they tackled the heavy lift of rebuilding all of these template courses in the new Brightspace LMS. By the start of the spring 2021 term, the coordinators were responsible for developing 6 new template online course shells and 23 template shells in total. Some of these templates are being used for 30 plus sections of a single course per term. By taking the initiative and driving the creation of dozens of online template courses, this courageous team of biology coordinators provided a successful online experience that supported student success and the success of their faculty colleagues.
Thank you so much, Brian. You know, one of the really cool things that happens with this is you get to learn a lot more about the work your colleagues are doing. And I really appreciate you taking the time to do that. So our next value is Be Ethical. And I just have to be honest and tell you, I was super bummed that we didn't have one single individual nomination for Be Ethical. I can tell you, I have seen ethical examples throughout this college, so it's on me as well. But I hope next time we can't say that we didn't have any individual. But we have some fantastic team nominations to introduce the recipient of the C&M's Values Champion Team Award for Be Ethical. Please join me in welcoming Ann-Lynn Hall.
Hi, you all. This nomination today was submitted by Michael Anaya and myself. This C&M team has been providing ethical and consistent support to the C&M community to keep everyone safe. Each team member responded to reports of students and employees who failed their daily health self-assessment or who reported positive COVID-19 tests. They responded in a caring way to get information out and educate our community members about New Mexico's and CNM's protocols. This team consistently demonstrated ethical practices in interacting with our community, even over break, when they monitored people who were on their caseload and or who had failed health assessments. Thank you to the CNM COVID casing team for your work, and congratulations for receiving the CNM Values Champion Team Award for being ethical.
So great to celebrate those folks that did such important work and put in so many hours doing that. Thank you, Ann Lynn. Our next value is Be Exceptional. And our recipient of this CNM Values Champion Award for Be Exceptional was nominated by two separate individuals. So we're going to hear from both of them. Please join me in welcoming first Clint Wells. Clint?
I would say I'm the only real Clint Wells on this meeting, despite the fact that there's three here. So at the beginning of the pandemic, this exceptional individual, like many others, started making masks to get people masks that they needed. From that, a network of friends joined in their effort, and word got out, and they started receiving financial contributions from others who wanted to help but couldn't sew masks. As masks became more available and their fingers grew tired, they decided to wind down their mask making business, but were faced with a decision to make about what to do with the contributions. Through their case working with students, they began to hear that more than a few students could help with PPE for their clinicals. So they reached out to the foundation in HWPS in order to establish a fund at the foundation for students needing PPE for their clinicals. With that, I am going to hand it over to Jay-Z to finish the story.
Thank you, Clint. During the fall term, the COVID call team dealt with a critical volume of failed health assessments, reflecting the rapidly growing expansion of symptoms and infection in the local community. As a member of the COVID call team, this employee stepped up to take on many extra shifts when other team members were unable to cover their shifts. Additionally, she performed administrative tasks that helped Karen Montoya and Julianne Zeider manage the call team function. This included updating protocols, helping to train new team members, providing weekly summaries of COVID and symptom events, and developing the calendar of team assignments. Finally, when we had an unusually difficult case that required putting many students and employees out on quarantine, she took the lead instead of the team member who was too new to manage such a complex process. She managed and oversaw the team of 3 members who were assigned to work on this large case of quarantines. She demonstrated the essence of Be Exceptional. She consistently had a positive attitude, switched gears quickly, and responded in an extremely helpful manner. She never made us feel like she didn't think COVID call work was very important. Today's CNM Values Champion Award for Be Exceptional goes to Tisha Halliday.
Congratulations, Tisha. To introduce the recipient of the CNM Values Champion Team Award for Be Exceptional, and we had lots of nominations, please join me in welcoming Samantha Sengel.
Thank you, Diane. While most of CNM was on winter break in December, this team of employees worked to support our students with any needs they had while the college was closed. They supported students with kindness regarding questions of both intersession classes and spring classes to come at CNM. We had representatives from across the college and across student support services that help students get admissions, registration, transcripts, pay for their classes, access financial aid information, and be advised in coaching. These responsive team members helped more than 4,000 students across every platform, including coming to campus to run processes. We all know that those 4,000 students would say thank you again and again today for that support if they could. Today's CNM Values Champion Team Award for Be Exceptional goes to our holiday helpers, our amazing team of support during winter break. Thank you, guys.
And we should have a list here of the members. That's a lot of folks. Thanks, Samantha. Our final value is be inspiring. And to introduce the recipient of the CNM's Value Champion Team Award for Be Exceptional, we asked Diane Evans Pryor to do that. Today is her birthday, and she is off on a grand adventure, so she taped this message for all of us.
Diane Evans Pryor here from the nursing program. I'm super excited today to talk to you about my nursing faculty, both my full and part-time. This team pivoted the nursing program from a fully face-to-face program to mostly online in a matter of weeks. They learned no fewer than 7 new online platforms, including Brightspace. They learned how to quickly teach skills via Zoom, and they kept students engaged, learning, and positive. While I recognize that the whole college had to pivot quickly, our program really pulled together and put in hundreds of additional hours of sweat equity into innovation. There's no handbook for this, which was particularly problematic for a profession centered on evidence-based practice. Every aspect of teaching has been touched, and in many ways, we are better for it. I want to acknowledge my team's commitment to the college, to the school, to the program, and to the profession. Today's CNM Values Champion Team Award for Inspiring goes to our part-time and full-time nursing faculty. And happy Nurses Week, May 6th through 12th, 2021.
Happy Nurses Week is right. It's hard to even begin to put into words what our CNM graduates have done for this community over the past year. And our final award to introduce the recipient of the CNM Values Champion Award for Inspiring, please welcome Matt Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone. This nomination was submitted by Patrick Rydell and myself, and Patrick is on leave today. In the summer of 2020, CNM received CARES 1 funding that allowed the academic schools to purchase PPE for those classes that simply had to be taught face-to-face in order for students to meet learning outcomes. In HWPS, that meant well over 120 safety assessment plans, in addition to numerous clinical sites in which we had to determine the appropriate PPE, the quantity of PPE required, and how to procure it. The first two were relatively simple, although we found ways to make it difficult, but the third, procurement, was downright impossible. Thank goodness for this employee. In short, HWPS inundated this employee with orders when PPE supplies were at best scarce and at worst counterfeit. To this day, we are not quite sure how he managed and continues to manage to find supplies at the last moment when vendors had inadvertently sent counterfeit supplies, unexpectedly canceled orders at the last minute, or sent the wrong item. Despite the bevy of problems from vendors and changing requirements, interacting with him has always been one of the friendliest encounters in our day. If not for his dedication, then we have no doubt HWPS would not have been able to send students to clinical sites timely and perhaps not even been able to instruct students in our own classrooms. His ability to communicate with stakeholders, his knowledge of procurement, his commitment to CNM and the students we serve, and his ability to get it done is simply a lesson and inspiration for all of us. Congratulations to CNM Values Champion, Be Inspiring Award winner, Tyler Anderson.
Congratulations, Tyler. So congratulations to each of the recipients. Thank you to everyone who nominated, and congratulations to all of you who were nominated today, because people notice, people see. Thank you for taking the time, all of you, to recognize our colleagues. While it's clear that the pandemic wreaked havoc on so much, it's also clear from these stories about our recipients that it brought out the best in people. It brought out the best in CNM. Thank you for joining us to celebrate that. So our nomination form is live. We have a process improvement that we will begin next week, which is we will weekly let people know that they have been nominated with what the nominator said, and we'll let the nominator know that as well, so we can make it a little more real time. And we will gather again in several months to have a celebration, and hopefully that'll be in person and maybe a hybrid mode for people that can't come to campus. It's really important that we each take time to celebrate our employees who are living our values day in, day out. It is really great to see all of your fantastic faces. Thank you for the work you do for our students, for our employees, for our community. Stay well, take good care, and we'll see you next time.